Alright, you guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you did not, give... Alright, guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you did not give it... Jesus, I haven't done this in 4 months, so... What's up, guys? We are finally back in the book nook today, and this is probably like the most anticipated video, not by any of you, but by me, because today we are finally going to talk about Damsel by Elena K. Arnold. I have been promising a review on this book since I read it back in, I think, August, and it's like the last week of December, so... I'm a little late. As you can see, I loved this book a little too much, and I actually did take notes because some of these things I just like needed to be said that I wanted to go over in the review. Elena K. Arnold also wrote What Girls Are Made Of, and she just reminds me so much of like how authors used to write young adult before it was young adult. Kind of like a Flowers in the Attic, V.C. Andrews kind of vibe, like a gothic horror kind of vibe. So Damsel follows Amma, who is the damsel, and Amma kind of wakes up on this prince's horse one day, not knowing her name or why she's there or who this man is or what's going on. The prince's name is Emery, and Emery just kind of tells her like, don't worry, you're fine, I saved you. There was a dragon and I saved you. And she's like, oh, okay. That doesn't seem weird. Emery brings her back to his kingdom. Amma starts to see how exactly his kingdom is run. Very much male-driven. Women aren't really asking questions. Amma also meets his mother, the queen. At first, when we meet her, we're just kind of like, this woman's really weird. She likes a lot of cats. And she sits in front of the fire all day, and when Amma starts speaking with her ladies-in-waiting, they're kind of like, oh, she's like, tell me about the queen, and they're like, oh, she used to be so beautiful, like her eyes were this fiery, embery color, and now like she's just a cat lady. It's really weird. As time goes by, Emery basically convinces Amma that, you know, this is destined to happen. I found you. You're the damsel. Now we're gonna get married. And she's just like, okay. At first she's like, okay, like, you know, he saved me, so I mean, okay. But as time goes by, you really see her go like, well, did I really need saving? Because I don't remember who the f I am from, like, the last thing I remember is waking up on the back of your horse. For all I know, you stole me. So it's a really amazing story, and it's told like a classic fairy tale, but then things get... So some of the scenes got a little steamy, and then the ending is just like, whoa. The ending of this book literally, like, without spoiling it, the ending of this book literally made me, like, I had to like put it down and like pace around my room for a minute and be like, bleh. Just because it got like really real, really fast, and really like weird all of a sudden. But I don't know, maybe I'm just like a deviant or something, but I like those kinds of books. I generally don't cry because of a character dying. It takes a lot for me to physically cry or, you know, be super angry or whatever. But this book, like, when there's something like gross like that I find like, bleh. I don't know why, like, I like those types of books. I think it's because it's like I'm not able to get that emotion together for like love or sad scenes or whatever. But when there's like a visceral, like, this makes me sick kind of scene, I'm like happy about it because it made me feel something. I don't know, maybe I'm a cold-hearted fish. I don't know. Anyway, basically the underlining theme of this book is abuse, basically. And not just abuse, but abuse from men. There's a great line in this book that I feel like sums it up for the most part, and it says, "That is the way of being a woman, to carve away at herself, to fit herself to the task, but also to be able to carve herself in a different way when a different shape is needed." Yeah, pretty much. There's also this scene where Emery and Amma aren't married yet. They're like on track to be married soon, and she's in the castle, and Emery comes and basically accosts her in her bed. He doesn't like rape her. Well, I mean, like, I guess it's a form of rape. He molests her in her bed, and then he like stops himself, and then the next night he comes, or the next day he comes and tells her, you know, "I'm sorry, but who could blame me when a beauty such as yourself is under my roof and so close to being my wife? Certainly many men would not have been able to restrain themselves at all confronted with the same situation." And then Amma's like, "Thank you for your uncommon restraint, my lord," she answers. Like, and in the back of her mind, she's like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, like, who to be like that, like, to have that mindset of like, oh, thank you for not raping me, or like, thank you for not continuing to rape me. Woo! Like, you're a real friend. You don't thank people for not raping you," basically. And I'm not asking for it just because I'm in your house or because I look pretty. Like, no. My pretty outfit, I know, like, I look like a schlum today, but whatever. Like, my pretty outfit today didn't coincide with you molesting me, but thanks for not raping me. And I think that's why a lot of people who read this book got angry, because it does deal with adult situations, but at the same time, I feel like a 15, 16, 17-year-old girl is just gonna benefit from reading this book. If anything, I mean, like, if anything, at the very least, it's a great read. But, you know, if you need to learn something, don't thank people for not raping you. Also, that I saw, like, on Goodreads, on, like, the reviews and stuff, there were a lot of women who were like, every man in this book is terrible. Like, she has no male, or really female, that she can turn to and be like, hey, this is fucking crazy, right? Like, these people are fucking crazy, right? But I think that just adds to the fact that, you know, this is what it was like back in the day. Like, you didn't have anybody to turn to who wasn't just gonna, you know, keep their head down and, like, not look at you and pretend like you weren't there, because, you know, that other person, that other woman, or doesn't want to get hurt or anything. And, you know, the men, they're all a product of their environment. Like, that's what they're being taught. You know, this is what they're being taught throughout the book, is that you go out, you find a bitch, you save her from the dragon, you bring her back, and, you know, that's like, now she has to be your wife. That's what is ingrained in them. So obviously you're not gonna typically like or have any emotional attachment to these people. And that's why, I don't know, I've had a big problem this past year with reviewers being like, oh, I don't like her. Well, sometimes people are unlikable. Like, I can still enjoy the story if I don't like the protagonist, or I don't like what that person is doing, or what their motives are, or whatever. I can still enjoy a story. Maybe it's because the young adult world has like this formula that, like, you're supposed to follow so that you get published or something. And this book, to me, was not that at all. Generally, with like adult books, I don't feel like that at all. I felt like this is, if anything, it's more new adult than young adult, but it's in the young adult section at Barnes & Noble. I do highly, highly recommend that you go get this book, because, I mean, it's got everything that I love. Fairy tales, princes, a message, dragon. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed Damsel. If you read anything from young adult this coming year, pick this book up. I am going to link my Abe's book affiliate link down below, so if you want to get it through that, you can. Alright guys, if you like this video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a dislike, and I will see you guys next year? We'll see. Bye!